No one rejected you. You lowered yourself and waited for someone to pull you back up. And when that didn't happen, you called it abandonment. The truth hurts. You outsourced your value. And now you feel the emptiness of someone who forgot himself. I know because I've been there. I was the guy waiting for a text, the one analyzing views, the one pretending to be busy while secretly hoping to be remembered. I was the man who, after hearing no, spent days trying to figure out what he did wrong, as if someone else's approval were the final verdict on my worth. That's when I understood something brutal. The role of the rejected one is a position we accept. No one forces you into it. You walk into it. Stoicism taught me that in the hardest way possible. I used to live reacting. If she took too long, I got anxious. If she replied coldly, I shrank. If she seemed distant, I tried to compensate. I handed my emotional state over to her. Then I came across an idea from Epictetus that reshaped my mental framework. Some things are up to us, others are not. Simple, direct, uncomfortable. Her interest wasn't up to me. Her mood wasn't up to me. Her decision wasn't up to me. But my posture was. When I truly understood that, something shifted inside me. If it doesn't depend on me, it doesn't belong to me. If it doesn't belong to me, it cannot define who I am. And I stopped negotiating my dignity. Do you want to stop being the rejected one? Then stop acting like someone who needs to be chosen. There's a massive difference between wanting someone and needing someone to validate you. When you need, you beg. When you want, you invite. Stoicism doesn't teach coldness. It teaches self-control. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that tattooed itself onto my mind. You have power over your mind, not outside events. I couldn't control whether she stayed, but I could control whether I stayed whole. That's when I started reclaiming my posture. This isn't about her. It's about you. I began with something simple. Strategic silence. Not as a game. As discipline. Stop over-explaining. Stop justifying yourself. Stop chasing someone who already decided to walk away. A man who keeps his emotional spine straight doesn't panic for attention. He observes. And I started observing my own reactions. When I felt the urge to text, I waited. When anxiety showed up, I breathed. When my ego screamed, I reminded myself, this is just interpretation. Seneca said we suffer more in imagination than in reality. And I was suffering from stories I created in my own head. There was a specific moment. She said, I don't think this is working. In the past, I would have argued. Promised change. Tried to prove something. That time, I simply said, I understand. It wasn't pride. It was inner alignment. If someone decides they don't want to be with me, why would I fight against that? What is meant to stay, stays by choice, not persuasion. Right there, I stopped being the rejected one and became a man again. You want to change your image? Change your routine. I started waking up earlier. Training even when I didn't feel like it. Reading even when I was tired. Not to impress anyone, but because discipline builds identity. Every small action told me, I am someone who keeps his word. And that creates a different energy. You stop seeking external validation when you start respecting your own word. The problem was never the rejection. It was the meaning you attach to it. Rejection is not a sentence. It's a filter. She didn't choose you? Good. That removes someone who wasn't aligned. The Stoic understands that the world doesn't happen against him. It happens as it is. When I stopped fighting reality, I stopped feeling like a victim, and victims don't have posture. Responsible men do. Let me give you something practical. Stop monitoring social media. Cut contact out of dignity, not strategy. Redirect your energy toward real growth. Body, mind, finances. Accept that not everyone will choose you. Choose yourself first. Rejection hurts less when you don't abandon yourself. Want to know if you've truly reclaimed your posture? Ask yourself, if she came back today, would you accept anything just to avoid losing her again? If the answer is yes, you're still dependent. Posture means being willing to lose in order not to lose yourself. That's strength people notice, not because you post quotes, but because you stop chasing crumbs. Silence stops being tension and becomes presence. Absence stops being drama and becomes standard. And ironically, when you stop needing, you start being desired. But be careful. If you evolve just to provoke a reaction, you're still trapped. Stoicism isn't about manipulating others. It's about mastering yourself. If this video resonated with you, it's because at some point you felt that internal punch, the realization that you were living below your own value. And let me tell you something important. I'm not here to feed your ego or create fantasies of emotional revenge. This channel is for men who want maturity, self-control, and presence. For those who are ready to stop reacting impulsively and start acting with awareness. If you want to build mental discipline, emotional intelligence, and a posture that doesn't depend on anyone's validation, then subscribe to the channel right now. The upcoming content will go deeper into exactly that: how to strengthen your mind, control your reactions, and build an identity that doesn't collapse in front of a no. Most will keep seeking approval. Few will choose growth. If you want to be part of the group that evolves, subscribe and turn on notifications. Not for me, for you, to remind yourself every day that your transformation is your responsibility. I didn't stop being rejected because someone came back. I stopped being rejected when I stopped rejecting myself. When I stopped accepting less than I deserve. When I stopped negotiating respect. When I understood that my peace is worth more than anyone's validation. Stoicism didn't make me cold. It made me steady. And steadiness is what separates a needy man from a centered one. If someone wants to stay, great. If they want to leave, the door is open. But I stay. And that's the posture that changes everything.